There's no better way to make sales quickly online than with a well-crafted welcome sequence. Problem is, most welcome sequences suck. And I'm sorry to say, but this is mostly due to a lot of crap information being put out by so-called experts. You'll hear a lot of talk about offering special discounts, upsells, order bumps, and all that kind of stuff. Or worse still, people will talk about magic words or hidden phrases you can say that somehow make people buy. But your prospects aren't idiots. What worked in 2020 isn't working today. And if you expect to get rich off one welcome sequence, you are in for a very sorry surprise. In my mind, a welcome sequence should be all about one thing: welcoming people into your world. I know that's a weird concept in this day and age, not actively trying to shove offers down people's throats or sell them something from day one, but the way I like to build businesses is a way that relies on mutual respect between seller and buyer. I want clients and customers who I'd happily sit down and grab a coffee with, people who aren't going to refund, and more importantly, people who want to buy from me, who are excited to spend their money and who come back time and time again. This is why the way I do welcome sequences is very different to most copywriters, marketers, and business owners. If you're looking to make a quick buck, this video won't be for you. However, if you're the kind of person who values long-term relationships, who doesn't mind skipping the small sale for now, for much larger ongoing sales later on, and you're just done with all the hypey bullshit that infects every corner of our industry, you'll absolutely love what I'm about to share. So give me a few minutes and let's go through how to craft an epic welcome sequence that turns lookers into lifelong fans, builds a hyper-profitable business, and allows you to make passive sales around the clock to people who want to buy from you. First up, let's go into what a welcome sequence actually is. A welcome sequence, surprisingly, welcomes people onto your list. Typically, what will happen is that people will opt in for something. That's often through some sort of ad on Facebook or Instagram, might be through a Google ad, it might even be organically through your social media, and they will input their email address in return for something. That something might be access to a webinar, a free workshop, it could be a PDF, might be a discount code, or it could even be a mini course. And then what happens is they go into your email CRM and get a series of emails. Those first emails we send are the welcome sequence. Might be 2 emails long, might be 5 emails long, might be 10 emails long, could be any number. Ultimately, the number doesn't matter so much. What matters is the messaging behind it and the positioning, and that's what we're going to go through here. So first things first, you need to actually deliver the thing. Maybe that seems really, really obvious, but you would be amazed how many copywriters, how many marketers, how many business owners get so engrossed in wanting to make a sale, actually delivering the thing that someone requested becomes secondary. Really, that should be the primary thing we're doing here, right? We want people who trust us, who automatically have that emotional buy-in with us. And to do that, if they've requested access to a webinar, if they've requested access to a course, they've given you something valuable, which is their email address in return for something, we need to deliver that thing. So your first email should be all about giving them what they asked for. Second, we want to deliver real value. Now, you hear a common argument of saying, don't give people too much value because then they won't buy, or you'll only attract freebie seekers. In my experience, that just isn't true. The more value you can give and the more you can impress people with your free stuff, the more they want to buy into your paid stuff. So someone who does this really well for me is a guy called Seth Ellsworth. Now, I learned this from Seth at a conference I went to last year, and what he does is when people opt in for his email autoresponder, he will send them to another page that gives them access to another free training. It's a bonus on top of what they've already requested. Now, put yourself in the prospect's shoes for that. You've asked for something, and he's given you 2 amazing things of real value. That automatically, again, positions him or positions you, if you're writing an autoresponder like that, as completely different to other people in this space. So come at this from a value-first mindset, and even if maybe you don't make that extra $7 sale, $27 sale, whatever it is now, long-term you're going to stand to gain much, much more because you gave value up front. The third thing which ties into that is don't sell in email 1. That goes against a lot of narratives, and I'll be totally honest here, you might be leaving some sales on the table. But again, what have we just talked about? We've talked about long-term relationships and making higher price sales. There are absolutely ways to make quick sales with an autoresponder and with an email sequence. And that can be having a huge cut price deal in email 1. So let's say that your course is normally $497 or dollars. You whack it in front of someone at $27, they're probably going to buy. But what does that do long term? Well, it might erode some trust if you've got people who paid full price for your course, seeing that others are getting it much cheaper. It might also mean that people just don't take action on your higher priced offers and they just expect discounts all the time. So my thing is don't sell an email 1. If you want to, direct people to a different page, have them go through another funnel on another page after some more value. You can then maybe sell to them, but that first email should be all about giving them the thing, welcoming them into your world. Number 4 is to try and get them to reply. So a really big thing now, especially with how Google works and how Gmail works, and even Apple and iOS, is wanting to make people's inbox see you as a friend. Obviously, we're bombarded with emails every single day, and so email providers want to protect the user being the person receiving your emails. So anything they think is spam, anything they think is a promotion, it's going to get put into that spam or promotions folder. When that happens, you've got a much much lower chance of being seen. And once you're kind of in there, it's very difficult to get out as well. So what you want to do is to train your prospects' inboxes to see you as more of a friend. You want them to do what they would do with a family member's email. They'd read it, they'd take it in, they'd respond to it, they'd have a conversation. So anything you can do to get a reply to that first email, you should definitely do it. Now that might be asking them their experiences in your niche. It might be asking what problems they've got, what they want to achieve. It might even be just saying like, hey, did you get this? If so, I'd love to hear a bit more about you. Feel free to reply, tell me something about yourself. But linking into this whole idea of value and relationships, try to get that response to your first email and you'll absolutely see the benefits later on. Number 5 is something I learned from Ian Stanley, is that if your email software allows it, 6 to 12 hours after the first email's gone out, send another email just asking if they got it. It can be really, really short and it can just be a subject line like, hey, need your help, or hey, quick question, something like that. And all you would do is say, hey, earlier on you requested access to whatever they requested access to. Email software can be a bit funny sometimes. Email inboxes can be a bit flunky. Would you do me a favor and just reply to this telling me you got it? If you didn't get the whatever it was, reply as well and I'll personally make sure it gets to you. Thanks so much, speak soon. That kind of thing. You can jazz it up, you can put your own voice on it, all that kind of stuff. But ultimately we are, again, training people's inboxes to see us as a friend. To do that, we get them to reply. It also opens up a chain of conversation, because if you're not selling in that first email, what you can do instead is start to do a bit of diving into what someone's struggling with. Maybe they're a good fit for your coaching. Maybe they're a good fit for another service. We have that back and forth with them. We can qualify or disqualify. And then if it feels like it's a good fit, we can maybe make an offer. And the final thing I'm going to do for this is just give you a very simple structure you can follow. Now, the reason why I'm not going into like you can send 10 emails, 15 emails, 30 emails, anything like that, is because you can do that if you want to, but I like to keep things simple. And for me, it's much more about building that initial relationship. So what I'm going to do, walk you through 3 emails you can send. So email 1 is going to be more of a background story email. So this is after you've sent those first couple of emails I mentioned. The next email should be about you, about your origins, how you got into the space, all that kind of thing, but try and relate it back to the prospect. So if you've gone through the same journey that your prospect is currently on, that works amazingly. If not, and if you're not your ideal target market, either use your background story and link it in, or maybe use someone else's background story. Like if your inspiration for starting your coaching business was something that happened with your mum, use that. If your inspiration for opening a yoga studio was something that you did with your brother, use that. Anything that builds rapport makes you feel more human. The second email you're going to send is a social proof email. That's going to be case studies, going to be testimonials, going to be stories from people who've used your product or service and have benefited. You can stack this with a lot of social proof if you want, or you can just use 1 or 2 really emotive stories. Whatever way you want to do it though, the emotion is key here. Like we're doing all along, there's multiple ways to differentiate your offer. Some of those are about pain points, some of those are about outcomes, some of those are about how you deliver what you're offering. But ultimately, social proof is a great way to do that. If a new subscriber can see that what they're looking at has already got results for other people like them, they're much, much more likely to buy. And then the third email is an offer or scarcity email. So this is the first time we're actually selling to people. If they've had a bit of a conversation with you, if they've replied to another email and you've gone off and talked kind of sales and programs and that kind of thing, so be it, that's totally fine. If not, this is the first time they're going to get access to your offer. So all I would do here is put together a very simple email that speaks to what you can do for someone and how it helps them. We're not talking like a full-blown sales page. It doesn't have to be super heavy on the selling. All we're doing is saying to them, look, if you're struggling with this problem, I've got this thing. Here's how it works differently. You've already seen some social proof and some case studies from people who've got results from it. Because you're here, because you opted in for this free thing that I offered, I would like to offer you a special offer on it, a discount, some bonuses, anything like that, and just come up with a deal that makes sense. Maybe it's half price on a course. Maybe it's that you're going to do them 2 months of coaching for the price of 1. Maybe if it's a product, it might be you get 6 months supply for the price of 3. Anything like that, as long as the deal makes financial sense for you, as long as you're not losing money on it, come up with the best offer you can for someone. If you want to go a step further, you can actually send 2 emails like this. I'm not averse to that. You could do one in the morning, one in the evening, could be one day after the next, but ultimately you're just training people to show that you do use scarcity, you do say what you're going to do because this offer is only open for a day, maybe 2 days, and you're getting into the habit of seeing that you do offer value, but you're also going to sell stuff as well. Okay, so I think that's about it. I'd love to know what you think. So are you on board with this and excited to totally redefine your welcome sequence so you can sell in a sustainable way and build lifelong bonds with high-paying customers? Or do you just think I'm talking out my arse and we need to go back to the old school approach of just sell the damn thing? Drop me some feedback in the comments, and while you're there, if you could like the video, subscribe to the channel and share it with a friend, it'd mean a lot.